I grew up like a savage.
You know, the open mics and all that shit, you know that's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. How, and you dealing with, is this, so catch me up to speed with the time. Mm-hmm. You know Jacka by this point.
I meet Jacka in my senior year of college. I meet that whole camp.
Okay, so I won't go that far yet. So I'll stay where we are. And okay. Did you go to Atlanta?
I went to Atlanta well after that. So the way it happened was college, then the whole 17 Hertz, Jacka movement, Golden Mean Management.
Okay, shout out PK.
Mm-hmm. And then I graduated from college within that time. Then we did, started doing like local shows, trying to find different ways to get in from here. Okay. Then I got the opportunity to go to Atlanta 2010. I got the deal 2011. Okay.
Who was the A&R there?
Right. When I got there, who was that? Well, Andre Harrell is the one who assisted in me getting the deal at Atlantic. Okay. With Yancey.
Okay. Okay. And Yancey is the one that actually signed you?
To his production company. He's the one who got me the opportunity. Okay. To go to have the opportunity to go to different labels.
So like in the meeting, you know, you hear these label heads. I know from the Bay Area we have like Tina Davis, who was at Def Jam with Chris Brown and all these. Was it like any of those people? At Atlantic, was that Julie Greenwald or one of those?
Yeah.
I know a little something.
You know KP was there.
Okay, KP was there.
And the thing about that is I'm such a, when I was younger, I always knew, like, I want to be on the face.
Yeah.
What's the other one that, like, Immature and B2K were on?
Chris Stokes label.
Yeah, what was theirs? I can't think of it. But those are the two labels that I liked when I was a kid. Like, who thinks of this kind of stuff?
Right.
On the face.
Right.
But it was just something about, like, the style of music, the way the albums flowed.
That makes sense.
How the visual,
the aesthetic,
connected with the music. Right. I loved it. Yeah. And it's really not like that anymore.
It's not like that at all.
I don't know the A&R process nowadays, but I know then.
Only people I say got that old school feel when it comes down to that is Coach and Pete. What's the fuck? Migos. What's their label?
Would you like another layer?
Yes.
I was managed by Coach.
Oh, you was managed by Coach?
Yeah.
At the same time as Jeezy or Gucci Coach?
So when I went to Atlantic, they placed me with Coach.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's super dope. I really wish that would have worked out, but I was being advised and taking advice and doing a lot of different things. And I never really talk about this, by the way, because it's so triggering because I see all these great things happening.
Yeah, later on, yeah.
But I'll just be fully transparent because I like this conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So I got placed with Coach, and I think it was just so many people on the boat, and everybody was like paddling different ways, and I was just in the middle, like, what's happening? Yeah. But he was super dope, and I think that would probably be one of the things that I could say I kind of regret. Not having like a real conversation before coming back home. Yeah. So I kind of felt like everybody was going their own ways because other things were moving, and I was kind of in limbo because the label was shifting. Okay. And Andre Harrell had left, and he was like my cheerleader in there. Okay. And he went over to Revolt, and so now I'm just kind of there.
Was Atlantic acquiring a company or being acquired by somebody? Did it happen like that? Because, like you know, in earlier times, you would just hear about people dropping people, A&Rs being fired, they moving the regime. Yeah. But in our time, ever since the MP3 era, I always count that as an era. Like, that's a whole new era when MP3s were invented and Napster was going around. Labels started changing, right? So the music business was being consumed in a different way, so the labels were being like ate up by the bigger parent group, you know, like, or they would merge you with somebody else because you had all these different labels and imprints back in the day, like Jive had New Tribe, and then, you know, all of these different things, but it turned into labels being acquired by bigger labels. So when things were shifting and changing at Atlantic, was it more executives being moved around, or was the label being bought out or buying a label or something like that?
I think things are just moving around.
Yeah.
And when I first, because there was a lot of different labels that were interested.
Okay.
But what attracted us the most there was that there were really no other new females on the come up coming in. So that was the thing. Like, you will get like full attention. They'll go in, and so that was the thing that was the most attractive at that time.
And you signed to your man's production company. What was it called again?
L7.
L7. Mm-hmm. What? So did you have your own management? Yeah,
so I went to L7 and then we met Coach, and Coach came in as
so Coach was management at the same time. Yeah. Oh, okay, damn.
I never talk about it.
Damn, that's crazy. Why?
I think I've just become a little more comfortable with speaking about like the past, but it's hard. If I could be fully transparent, like, you know, to come back home and to be like trying to put the pieces together, and then turning on the TV and seeing everybody doing so great.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, by the grace of God, I'm so happy that I'm not in a deep depression, or I'm, you know, like not on drugs, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
Shit, was that bad?
I mean, imagine everything getting ready to be your moment.
Right.
Everything you fought for your entire life is about to happen.
Right.
You got all the heavy people in the room.
Yeah.
Ready.
And now you're back at home in your mom's house, in your high school room. And you turn on BET and you see all the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those things can really do something to the mind.
Right.
But I always go back to like my faith in God and my mom, who never changed when I came back home, or but those things can really do some stuff to you.
Oh, what you mean? I mean, some of our favorite artists, like, I mean, it's bad. Like, I mean, it's bad. Like, people have to watch people blow up. Like, and then you always say, what did I do wrong? Or why did I do this? Or I could have did it this way. Maybe I should have just.
Maybe I was overreacting. You start to kind of like doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And like, even the things that you know you stood very firmly in, you start to kind of like, because you don't know. And I mean, it's been a tough road having to, you know, build myself back up and know who to trust and not who to trust. But at the same time, like, I would try to do other things and I just wouldn't be fulfilled. Like, no, music is your thing.
Mm-hmm. I love these stories, right? Because when you put them all together, it makes so much sense. Like, historically, like your situation with Coach, your situation with the L7 situation, your situation with Jacka, like, you put all these pieces of this puzzle together, right? And you try to come up with the storyline. It's like, you know, one intersects with the other, you know, 7 degrees of separation. Like, I'm going to run into you. You're going to know somebody I know. We're going to have a mutual, you know, somebody in common. And when I listen to these stories, and I think recently I listened to Coach story, because it was I know Coach story, but it was actually like a Coach and P story. Like, well, this was my partner this way, and me and him was kicking shit, and then it was like, why don't you? Because at some point, Coach felt like a failure too, and I heard him talk about it. I heard him talk about, you know, his different times with Gucci and Jeezy, and that shit becoming a beef, and he's in the middle and shit like that. So, you know, when you say that, it's like, damn, I can feel you on being in your old high school room, looking at all this success on TV, but I can also feel that just, again, wasn't your time, and it wasn't your path. And you know, that's that layer, and then that's the inside. That's the mold. What's creating this being inside. Like, it's,
but you know, it's uncomfortable to really talk. For some reason, I'm comfortable in the moment, but I always worried about, am I going to sound like the bitter artist, or am I going to sound like the person who's living in the past, or am I going to and I would have all these like conversations within myself. But it really isn't. It's your story. It's what your journey has been.
Yes.
And you don't know who may need to hear that.
Yes.
And you need to speak these things instead of holding it in.
Yeah.
But it took me a long time to be comfortable enough to say that this is what I experienced, this is what I've done, this is how I reacted. Like, because it can be uncomfortable.
If you're a prideful person, right? I know I am, right? And if you're a prideful person and you believe in and you stand on what you believe in, and you make a decision, like that, right? You make a decision to leave out of your situation, and then there's Coach, right? There's Coach who has this uber success, right? And then you have to you don't never doubt yourself, but you can always doubt your decision, right? But once again, it wasn't what it meant for you. You know, that wasn't the situation. And when you think about his story and his legacy, there's far more losses than wins, right? That's just how life is. There's far more losses than wins. And there's people that Coach is affiliated with that I'm sure there's artists in his personal heart of hearts he loved way more. But it's a business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's a business. If it wasn't a business, we'd just be family. We'd just be around. We'd do this shit forever. Like if it was like I always get this one. Like if you ever see somebody playing basketball and they play hard, and I mean like more in a professional or in college, like that level, right? And then you see them at the park and they like giving it everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like they playing with a bunch of niggas that ain't got nothing to lose, but they giving it everything, right? It's just different. You know what I mean? Like it's a business over here, but then over here you doing it with your heart. You know what I'm saying? That's why like if you made, I'm sure there's songs that you probably made for yourself just for therapeutic reasons.
Oh yeah.
Like this ain't for everybody. I'm not putting this out. Yeah. But as you sitting here talking to me about those decisions, I'm listening and talking and listening to a grown woman, right? A grown woman articulate a time period and a situation in her life. I think it's great that we can be transparent like that. Yeah. That's where the music industry has actually matured, in my opinion, because that's why we have this platform, because people are interested in hearing it. They're interested in hearing Netta's story. Like, I really want to know, like not somebody, but somebody's in this world. They're your biggest fans, and you're their favorite artist, regardless. I can be Lil Joe in the hood. Yeah. There's gonna be 10 guys that swear by me that I'm better than everybody, and that's who we should be catering to. Yeah. Those are folks that's gonna buy a ticket. Yeah. Those are folks that's gonna buy the merch. These are folks that's gonna stream your shit all day and tell the world about it. I had to work on that
because I always felt like I was trying to prove myself to the people who didn't see me.
Yeah, and that don't even matter.
No, can't do that.
Right? That shit don't even matter. It'll have you running in circles.
Can't do that.
Yeah,
you really gotta F with the people that F with you. Like, I had to learn that. Big time.
That's real. Yeah. That's real. So where you at? So after you come back home, what's the temperature like? What is shit like then? Like how you? Of course, you said how you was feeling, and I mean, well, it had to be a little time before they did what they did, but as far as like moving on and getting bigger, but like at this time, what is your plan and what you thinking? Are you down on yourself? Are you feeling like shit? Are you like, I'm back here, back to square one? This was all for nothing. Like, how you feeling?
Well, when I left, it was when 3 Times Crazy was kind of boiling.
Okay.
So I came home to do like a promo run here, like just locally.
Okay.
But something in my spirit was like, you going home and you're not coming back. Because, you know, my A&R at the time would go, you know, to the meetings and then come back with information of what I needed to do. But I just felt something like they don't get it, huh? Yeah. They gonna go with somebody else. And I'm gonna get shelved, huh? Yeah. Like, I just started to feel it. And so when I came home, I did my job. I did the shows. I even found shows of my own, put shows on my own. Okay. And Empire was really a great help at that time. Okay. They were still kind of in the beginning stages. Ghazi has been amazing early on when I he was one of the people there too that kind of like was in those meetings.
Shout out to Ghazi.
Big time.
Yeah.
And it just kind of started to slow down.
Okay.
When I got home and they were just kind of in so many words telling me like, we're gonna hold off on you for a minute, and I was like, well, just release me, and they released me.
So they didn't have a problem releasing you?
No, they didn't give me a hard time about it.
That's great.
I called Craig personally, and I was like, can you promise me we're going to do this? And
we talking about Craig Calvin.
And he was like, I can't promise that right now. You know what I mean? Like, I won't say exactly what he said. But basically, it was just like, we got to work some things out. And I don't think it's going to work out.
Now, nobody never talks about this too, right? Everybody talks about I got released and they let me go. And I'm so happy for it, right?
Yeah.
But is there a like doubt in that moment too? Because you're like, why the fuck is he so willing to let me go? Like, am I not the one?
I wrote a long email to him the night before I called him, and I was just like, I need you to believe, like, the day you signed me, I can do this. This is what I want. Like, please. And I think when I first stepped into that building, in the beginning, I didn't step in right. I stepped in like, help me, let's do it.
Yeah.
I should have stepped in like, you signed me, let's go.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't want to lose the moment, so I was playing nice. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, when we got to that point, I called him the next day, and he's like, I got your email, and I get it. And he was like, I understand. If you have another big record or something that you feel like call me. But I'll let you go. And it was kind of a thing, like, I did hope for him to be like, well, let's just see.
Yeah, let's work on this.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, I've heard situations where people will leave you in a deal and still not do nothing. So you could have did that.
Right.
But so I just took the moment. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen next. And, things got a little bit interesting here at home.
Yeah.
But I fought through, and I'm, still fighting through. And I think I developed a lot of, I started to not trust people. I started to isolate myself, big time. Like, I'll just go and just be in my mind, answer my phone. I'm not coming outside.
Yeah.
Like, I felt embarrassed. I felt hurt. But then I just started to put it in the music. And that was, like, the birth of, like, going into the 580s and the 980s and just,
Now, like we sitting here smoking weed, right?
They are.
We are, right? You don't smoke. That was about to be my point. You don't smoke, right? Because for me, I'm an artist too, right? So as a person that's being a creative, that sounds like some shit I would have came up with. Like, I'm not. Actually, I have a song called 880. Yeah. Okay. So, but what I'm saying is, how do you come up with, like, what's the inspiration now? Or is it like, I'm home?
Yeah.
Let me rewind before I even get there. Let me rewind before I even get there.
Okay.
Dealing with Julie Greenwald, Craig Kalman, Craig had to let you go, right? Mm-hmm. When they signed you, was there a big advance from the label? Did they give you like
I'm not answering that.
Okay. Only reason I'm asking, right? Because I'm like, if they spent a lot of money, right? They letting their monny go, because sometimes that's like, fuck
sure
that.
It's more to it.
Like, you gonna write some songs for somebody or something? You gonna give us something back? But why I'm asking that is because, like, if we know the way the music industry go right now, right? We see the Tech Nines of the world. We see the I can't think of everybody right now, but the independent artists that do so great. Chance, I think Russ, right? People that's independent. I know they got little boosters now because it's a business, right? Okay, but they not technically signed. They their own bosses, right? If a label signs you and lets you go, I'm talking about a person coming out the hood, right? Could be working at IKEA, could be working retail wherever, right? Somebody gives you $150,000, $250,000 or whatever, right? You as a woman, I believe personally, it costs a lot to live as a woman, right? You got to be safe all the time. You got to be, you know what I'm saying? So we talking about, it's a lot that goes into a woman artist.
Gotta look good.
Gotta look good, for sure, right? I've seen and heard about situations where people was able to get signed, tuck away some of the money, and when it got bad, they ran away and used that as a reboot. So when I asked you about the advance, I'm asking you, like, you actually, you went back to mom's house. So I'm saying you spent your money on your career still. There was like no, I'm doing this for the average fan, family member, anybody to understand.
Like went and like just bought the whip I've been trying to get my
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to put that out there because people don't understand the music industry. Like nobody understands. If you get signed, my cousin Netta finna buy me a house. I'm good. I can stop working now. One of us on. You know what I'm saying? I just was watching a podcast of some NBA players, Darius Miles, Quentin Richardson, when they said they talked to JJ Redick and they asked him, and they was just talking in front of him. He's like, I got to pay my mom's car note and boo 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 boo. And he's white. JJ Redick. He was like, you pay your mom's bills? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like, you pay your mom's bills? Like, I don't, like, what the fuck is that?
You know what? That's what I want.